Strings and numbers. In this video, I'm going to show you how we can use strings and numbers in Ruby. Your goal is to continue doing your game, and by the end of this lecture, you should be able to print out the following string. Larry's health is associated with the number 60, which is his health value. Then the players on the new line with a tab Larry, another new line tab Curly, the third line tab and Mao. From my end, I'm going to continue with movies, so I'm going to show you how I can do something similar to yours but related to movies. I have name of movies and I have ranking of these movies instead of the health. So let us start and go and use first the IRB. Okay, so I am in the IRB, and in this session I'm gonna first I am in the command line, so I am just writing IRB, and the same you can do in DOS, just write IRB. And from here, I'm just going to try some numbers like 7 multiplied by 3, just to see how Ruby is working, is returning 21. Let's try with a floating point, 4.99 plus 199. And sure enough, it's going to return for me 6.98. Now, how about division? 25 divided by 2, as you can see here, little surprising answer 12, as if Ruby truncated the number for me to the lowest value. Instead of 12.5, it gave me 12, an integer fixed value. So if I want to examine what's going on here, I can ask the number that I created to give me the type of that number. So let me hold that number in a variable. So let me name it num equal to 25 over 2. And now let me call that value num and ask the class of this number. So I have to mention here, everything you create in Ruby is a class and has methods. Anything. So this is your first explosion to the way of calling a class method. So I am asking Ruby what type of class the variable number is, and it's returned for me fixed number. So that means number is going to always hold a fixed number, and that's why it didn't print out for me 12.5. Now, if I want the result to consider the floating point, I should give one of those numbers a floating point. So if I go back and say num equal to 25 divided by 2.0, I just added 0.0. In this way, it knows I would like to have the result as a floating point. And I click on enter, it's going to give me, sure enough, 12.5, what I was expecting. So if I ask now num.class, give me the type of this class, it's going to give me a float. So this is a class that has a type of a float. So in this way, you can understand what is really going on behind the scene. Let me continue with my game. I'm going to have merit, which is equal to, for example, for my movie is 10 multiplied by 2, just considering some type of categories, and demerit equal to, let's say, 0.3 multiplied by 5. I'm just using it so you can get used to the idea of using numbers, floating or integers. So let me define the rank of the movie, which is equal to the merits, how much merits this movie got, minus demerits. Okay. I must spelled. Okay, so the rank is 18.5. If I want to see the ranking, what type, and you should predict that rank, which type of class, since you can see the floating point, so you should know that is a floating point number. Okay, let us move a little bit to the text editor, and let me now introduce the strings. To exit of the IRB environment, you just write exit. And now let me define a new file, math, and I will name it flex.ruby. And you can do the same with Eclipse. You can open Eclipse now under Ruby and just create a new file named flex.rb. Okay, so it should be empty text. And what I'm gonna do today, okay, let me define my favorite movie. So puts, and I'm gonna use now single quote as a definition for my strings. As we saw before in Perl in last by term is very similar. Lily loves Goonies. Okay. So if I run Control R, Lily's Love Goonies, and Control W will close it. Now, what else? Let me define some text that has built-in single quote. Puts Lily favorite movies or movie is Goonie. Okay, so my favorite movie is Goonie. So I'm gonna use the single quote here. I end it. As you can see, there is a problem because it is different in color. Let me run it and see what error I'm gonna get. So technically Ruby got confused. I have single quote here, it finishes here, but I have another one over here. So how can I tell Ruby that this single quote is not related to the expression of putting a strings input, but is related to a text, and just ignore the meaning of that single quote? The way is very easy, by using one of the escape sequences character, which is the backslash. What I'm saying here, ignore whatever is behind this backslash. So technically Ruby will ignore it completely. So let me run it. Sure enough, we have it working fine. Okay. Now what else? We can also define the the Goonie movie inside a variable and put that string inside it. So let me do this. Movie equal to Goonies. Now if I want to print puts Lily favorite, let me use the same what I did before. If I want to use the single quote, I should put like this. Okay, favorite movie is, and I'm gonna put a single quote. What I want to do now, I want to concatenate with whatever it is inside of variable movie, because I might change my mind and I have another movie. The way you do this, with a plus, and you write your variable. So let us run it. Sure enough, we have it right. Lily's favorite movie is Goonie. Okay. So what else we can do? Let us define now another variable, not a string, but a number. Rank equal, I like my movie a lot, Goonie, so I'm going to give it 10. And let me now print. Puts, first I want to print my movie. So we'll have Goonie in it. Okay, puts movie, which is as a variable, plus has a rank of, and I'm going to leave space, plus my rank. So supposedly here puts is gonna interpolate movie as Goonies, and then has a rank of, so we're going to put Goonies has a rank of, and then should be 10. Let us see what's going to happen. Okay, it seems that we are having a problem, and it says cannot convert fixed number into string, and it tells you exactly which line. So let us close and see. So here in this line we are having a problem. So you can stood here and you can see this is the line 10. So the problem is that this is an integer fixed number and is not a string, and I am using it inside an expression input that anticipate to have everything string. How can I convert this number to a string? By calling class, just I write dot to underscore s, which is a class that will convert whatever that variable is, float or number, into a string. So let me run it now. Sure enough, it is working. So Goonies has a rank of 10. So it's working fine so far. What else? Now you notice that it is really hassle to use the single quote. You have always to keep a track of the type of the variables to match them as a strings, and also if you have a single quote part of your string, you have to use escape sequences. So let me comment this by clicking on command / and try to fix this by using double quote and see how much easier. So I'm going to take this comment, and instead of using single quote, I'm using double quote, and let me run. So it's exactly what we predicted. So double quote, it works exactly like single quote. Now in case that you're using double quote string, you don't have to worry about your single quote because it is not confusing for Ruby to understand it. So we'll see, sure enough, it's working fine. Okay, so we're gonna define a variable. Also, you can define it by double quote. And okay, we didn't print yet, doesn't matter, but it's working. We didn't get an error. So put here, I don't need that one, and now I'm gonna use double quote instead. Okay, so we got the same result, but the process is much easier. Now let me define the rank, and let me see what benefit I will get from here. Actually, since I am using double quote, I don't really need to convert the number to string. It understands it completely, and technically it's interpolating, so I have to put it inside and I don't have to use a plus at all. So I can get rid of this and I can use it in this way. And actually to distinguish movie and rank that are variables from the actual word movie and rank, I have to add hash with curly brackets around the variable that I would like to interpolate it as a variable as it is. So just surround it with a bracket and precede it by a hash. So let us run this one. Sure enough, we got it right. So if you want to change this as well, okay, instead the movie, I can get rid of the plus, and I will add hash, curly brackets, close it, and then I have the string at the end. That's it. So that's for the numbers and strings so far. What we learned how to use single and double quoted string, how we concatenate strings, mix strings and number in our expressions, use the escape sequences, how we can evaluate and interpolate Ruby code within double quoted string using the hash curly bracket. In the next video, we'll be able to introduce and create object and calling methods on those objects.